I don't know. It just feels weird not going melee. And maybe I only really played Joan for the season that she was out, when it was like melee every single time. But it always feels odd not picking that.
Yeah, I mean, so first off, Joan is captain by 3DB here, so odd definitely sounds like something we could be in for here. Um, but I think Archer Joan is probably going to be make the most sense. Just pick around the edges if you have an opponent who's fast castling, not going into some feudal military. Very very helpful to sort of you know pick up some early villager kills, and try to just kind of keep your opponent on their back foot there. But we are in game
We
and
are
ready to
indeed
go here.
taking a look at 3DB's base. He is in the orange. He is Joan, just like we are talking about. She's built that mining camp. She's started mining on the other side of the map. We got Scatterbrained as Roos, sticking to one scout. We did see a two scout opening for Roos earlier today. Unfortunately, that scout met its demise against a Chinese town center. I am going to pause this for just a second, let it buffer a little bit more. We're getting a little choppy playback at the moment. Here we go. So yeah.
All right, so kind of taking a look at these spawns, and it's not important early on, but it could be very important as the game progresses. Take a look at Scatterbrained starting gold. That feels like it's off in Narnia.
That is really far away. That is like even past, you got potential for maybe a wall at some point if Jones going into heavy knights early. But yeah, that is a far, far forward gold. That does
Yeah.
feel real rough against a civ that can open up with knights and feudal.
Yeah, that's not where you want to see your gold against a Knight Civ, that's for sure. Stone is nice and safe should Scatterbrain decide he wants to go to TC. Not entirely sure that's going to be the play against an aggressive Jeanne D'Arc player. Kind of looking over at B's spawn here, and looks a little bit um, better. You've got the forward wood spawn, which is always, nice. Creates like this nice little wall for you. The gold's off to the side. Not defended by the TC, but also not really. All right, well, you know what? We have B doing B things, so we promised you weird. And
Yeah,
that's what we're getting here, ladies and gentlemen.
we're going to be exploring Jones Chamber in this one. You can see the market in the north there, close to the corner. Another market just to the south of the Roos base. I like this quite a bit. I think changes the Chamber of Commerce has really opened it up to actually be kind of less of a meme landmark for Joan, especially if you're struggling to really get some sort of economic edge.
Yeah, I absolutely think Chamber of Commerce has come into play a little bit more due to those changes. I am, however, always hesitant to kind of lean into the trade side of things versus a Knight Civ, just because they can quickly, raid your trade line. It's very hard to protect the traders versus a Knight Civ. But if anybody can do it, I'm pretty sure B can do it. He's got the APM to kind of bounce around all over the map and put out multiple fires in multiple places. So yeah, Chamber absolutely makes sense. He's also got the neutral, right? The neutral is a great spawning neutral uh, for a trade play.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the other side, seeing that golden gate from Scatterbrained. Real nice to see no Kremlin today. Scatterbrained. So, potentially going. We've seen the Golden Gate be used in an earlier game, earlier series today, as sort of an economic engine that really helped some early feudal aggression from the Rus. We'll see what its purpose is today, whether or not it's going to be more castle oriented. Remains to be seen at the moment. We do see the wheelbarrow coming in for B, as well as the mining upgrade. So those traders are going to be popping out any minute. Joan of Arc
Yeah, and
back on the money.
Scatterbrained just wheeled his scout around, so he knows it's a Chamber of Commerce, so he doesn't have to worry too much about any early knights. But I'm pretty sure we'll have a stables coming out from B very, very soon, or at least I would hope we do.
You're absolutely
right on
correct.
cue.
Right as you said it. There it is. Well, yeah, the first trader in the queue going to the neutral in the north. Gonna start establishing that trade early. Always fun to see the off-meta landmarks. Always a good time. And Scatterbrained has scouted that out. He knows where that trader's going. He knows what's up.
B just being a little annoying over on Scatterbrain's gold forces a quick garrison. Scouts just, was burning the wooden fortress as it went up, burning the mining camp, just, trying to tax your opponents, put more mental strain on them by burning something. You're not, going to burn it down by any means, but you can absolutely annoy them. Looks like we do have women at arms coming out from JD, and a little bit of a boar pull. Pulling the original boar back, and you have 8 villagers going out on the boar, so B's going Chamber of Commerce, and he's going to quickly go into a lot of knights here. So Scatterbrained has to be, prepared for that. Looking at his macro, though, I don't see any production buildings. I think he just kind of wants to go to castle and maybe go into some horse archers.
Yeah, I definitely see a castle macro right now from Scatterbrained. No reaction to the Chamber of Commerce when it comes to production building. You can see all those vills on gold right now. Do you see the first batch of Pro Scout deer on the way home for Scatterbrained? Dropping off a few under the TC.
Yeah, this is just going to give him access to food, but beyond that, it gives him the opportunity to steal his opponent's food. He's already moved across the map. He saw the Chamber of Commerce, so he knows there's no early knights. He can steal this front deer pack right out from under B, and to be honest with you, there's not much B could do to contest that. But we do have double stables from B, first night coming in, so I think those knights are going to start hunting these scouts down just a little bit. So time is limited to steal B's food, but very good play. Not only are you getting yourself more food, but you're denying it to the enemy, so it's a double whammy right there.
Yeah. Professional scouts, it is great to see that make a comeback on some of the civs. It flows in and out of practice, but I think, where it is right now with the cost, especially with Roos, who doesn't really struggle to make additional scouts, good call for them, especially if you're thinking about a more expensive fast castle play, which is what's happening. Abbey of the Trinity coming out for Scatterbrained. Gonna go from swiping the deer on the map to start swiping the relics on the map. And we got Joan of Arc looking to take a scout's life before it can drop off that deer. Getting a little close to the TC. B losing the scout. Joan's under arrow fire, but she will secure the kill on that scout and get away as the first 3 knights actually, are going to come in and start harassing the Roos base.
Yeah, and so Scatterbrain's hope, he's queued on this relic that's behind B's base and behind B's walls. I think that might be a little too optimistic given the military presence B has on the field. But he'll still be able to collect the other 4 if he is quick about it. But he's got to get into a military unit of some type, and you have an archery range. So we are probably getting horse archers, maybe crossbows.
I see some horse archers in queue. Yeah, we got those horse archers. This is a fun one.
This is a solid play. You can kite Joan. You can kite the knights pretty effectively. Horse archers, just a high damage unit, 12 per shot. So, and they move at a 162 speed, so knights can't really catch up to them. So definitely, they're micro intensive, but again, we're watching top level play here. These players can absolutely micro in multiple directions.
Yeah, for sure. You almost saw those knights about to engage into one of the horse archers, pulled away at the last minute. See Scatterbrained swiping a relic, but the knights are there with a charge. That warrior monk trying to get that one home. Meanwhile, we got a horse archer harassing the vills on the boar. Now he's gonna sneak that horse archer in the back, see if he can get some disruption on trade. And those knights have got into the wood line of Scatterbrained, so that relic's gonna survive, but B's gonna pick up 2 vills for it.
B's actually probably going to pick up a few more because those knights
Oh
are
my-
still there.
Yeah, I saw the garrison, I looked away, and 2 more vills go down. That's a pretty devastating loss.
Full garrison is going to drive them away temporarily, though. Those knights will be back, that I am sure of. And you've got some base archers going after the Rus horse archers here, and these are generally considered to be a good counter to horse archers. They trade pretty effectively in terms of resources, but they're still feudal age. So I think Scatterbrained could absolutely continue to harass this trade line with those horse archers, and B doing the right thing. He's completely walling off, so those horse archers can't get behind his line, give him time to sort of get to castle age as well. Scatterbrained still moving some more horse archers over. He's probably going to find this wall as it goes up, maybe get some revenge on villagers here.
Those vills far forward while building the wall. Scatterbrained able to take one out. There are enough horse archers there to contest a couple of archers, but as the reinforcements come in, those horse archers are going to be driven back home. Or at least I thought. They didn't turn around. Joan is there too. She's soaking up the experience. 4 horse archers go down. It's one of those things, you move your units back, but just you don't like move them back to your base, so they stop, engage into units that you really don't want them to. B picks up some great value out of those kills. Really hurts to lose that many resources in horse archers. Now gonna lose a warrior monk as well. Scatterbrained able to bring his horse archers home to regroup, but they're Joan and her army are right outside the Rus base.
Yeah, and this is kind of where I think B, despite being an age behind, is going to try to make his stand. He's investing heavily in archers to sort of counter some of these horse archers, and he's got a lot of knights. So when these horse archers, turn around to shoot, knights are going to catch up to them and be able to inflict some good damage right there. Both armies just sort of waving at each other as they go by, just sort of passing by each other, not caring too much. B kind of moving to the back of the base, probably trying to wheel around to that wood line that he's gotten so much value from. But we could just see B showing no signs of wanting to get to castle age here. He could just be trying to go for the kill. Horse archers they've begun their kiting maneuvers.
Yeah, it seems like there's enough archers in the mix to one-shot a horse archer, and that's a lot of experience for Joan for every horse archer down. Horse archer's now able to thin out the numbers a bit.
Experience.
Mm-hmm.
She's about 140 away.
All right, not far away at all. I believe it's 12 for each of these horse archers. B's kind of backed into a corner at this point. Can't commit to the engagement. Needs to keep weaving in and out of there. Pops the heal right before Joan goes down. Scatterbrained doing a great job with those horse archers, though. At this point, just whittling down the unit count. Not losing many archers of his own. And there goes Joan of Arc.
Yeah, so the experience is stopping here, and this is kind of a good place for Scatterbrained to be in, right? He can kite these knights. B gonna lose several of these knights. He doesn't have the archers anymore, and probably gonna have to evacuate and just, save as many knights as he can while just trying to live to fight another day here. And yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna leave the archers behind while the knights make their escape. But this horse archer mass is getting pretty large. Real soon he's gonna be able to one-shot a knight and continue to kite. Gold has been protected. Wooden Fortress has a spring upgrade on it, so B can't raid there. And real quickly, I think B is going to have to find a way to get up to Castle Age to contend with these horse archers.
Yeah, earlier on in the game, Scatterbrained also able to get a few more horse archers in the back. We did see some more traders go down, able to take out 4 so far. Joan with the buyback on the field again. But
She's
no
about
commitment to the Roost base.
39 experience away.
All right, so just a couple more of these expensive units, and she'll be right there. Meanwhile, Scatterbrained is
villagers forward.
Excuse me? He's pulling villagers forward?
He's got 2 villagers just creeping over to Scatterbrained's base.
And there they are.
I very curious as to what he intends to do with those 2 villagers.
So am I, but at the current time, Scatterbrained losing a couple of vills trying to establish another archery range. A little more experience over to Joan. She's not quite there yet. Now coming over with that mass of horse archers. We'll see what damage can be done. Those vills dropping a mill on those berries. Scatterbrained now able to take out Joan of Arc. A buyback again. Warrior monks in there though, buffing up those horse archers. And this mass of archers is gonna get cleaned up. Scatterbrained, very formidable with his mass of horse archers.
Yeah, and these horse archers are now large enough. They're a very concerning mass, and they're going to start moving on to B's base. B, however, not entirely too close to Castle Age. However, Scatterbrained doesn't have a unit that can get through these walls. So these horse archers would take forever. So no pressure on B so far to really take any more engagements. He can kind of sit back and macro towards Castle, which is exactly what he's looking like. Once scouts can start burning, trying to get a hole in the wall somewhere, but it's going to take him quite some time. So Scatterbrained can't really force an engagement or force any fights out of B, and B is going to go up to Castle Age, and once he gets to Castle Age, his eco, depending which landmark he goes with, alright, we have a guild hall. So, yeah, B's going to have access to his Arbitrary A, he's going to have access to Veterancy Royal Knights, which are really powerful, and more importantly, he's going to be able to fight back against this horse archer mass. And there's not much Scatterbrained can do about it.
Holding off on that castle until Joan had enough experience to get to level 3. She's parking herself on a sacred site, looking to cap that as soon as Castle Age comes in. See the walls, the blueprints, gonna defend that northern sacred site. There's Castle Age, there's the capture. Now these horse archers are moving out in the middle, looking to find a target. You can see B is planning on just denying these sacred sites. Villager coming over to try to wall that up. Scatterbrained, though, looking for some damage with his military. And it looks like he is going to find that one Vill. So, sacred site not going to be walled up for some time. We need another Vill in that location. Horse archers coming around looking for some damage. There are a couple of villagers forward on that gold. B notices, able to get them to safety just in time. Horse archers just still looking for any opening in this wall. B doing a good job not to over chop here. Wood wall still holding.
Yeah, that's the details of top level play. As he was starting to over chop on this one wood line, he just moves him to another wood line, so he doesn't have to worry about it for quite some time. I do want to point out, B does have Jones champions in the back in Scatterbrained's eco, and 2 villagers in the west corner just mining gold. I wonder if we're going to get some proxy bases. Little skirmish from Joan in the middle there. Horse archers doing a lot of damage, but not quite able to get Joan down just yet.
There she goes, but her friends, her champions are just massacring the Rus villagers in the field. Another one goes down. These champions doing a good job just staying alive. They can hang out under the TC for as long as they want. Scatterbrained is no longer garrisoned. Now he realizes his mistake. Bringing those vills back in there. The champion finally goes down. But those champions picked off a good amount of villagers. We do see Scatterbrained moving to that sacred site. Villager able to build the wall enough to prevent those units from getting in there and decapping.
But now we have a warrior monk mass that is large enough that it'll eventually take down a palisades wall here, and Scatterbrained going to move on to the eco and sort of start denying some of that trade, so B has to respond to this. Looks like he's going to try to get another emergency wall up to buy himself more time. Not sure the villagers will get there, however. So B pulling back, and Scatterbrained now going to move in and try to just, you know, take this neutral and say, hey, this is mine, you're not getting it back.
Meanwhile, as that was going on, we're taking a look at a raid from B. We got 4 knights into Scatterbrained's base, and my goodness, the villager kills just keep climbing and climbing.
I think this is funny. Is B switching to that south trade post? No. All right, he's still continuing to trade with his neutral trade post. Got a little bit of a skirmish in the middle.
Yep,
Horse
not
archers
committing
kiting.
to it.
Yeah, B doesn't have a big enough mass to really take this down just yet. There's 50 horse archers on the field and 12 warrior monks, so this is getting to be a pretty scary blob from Scatterbrained here. It's entirely possible that Scatterbrained could maybe be looking at Imp somewhere in the near future. His gold macro is there, and food's not too far off. Knights are going to come in. Not going to be able to take that fight, though. Gonna kind of hurry back to B's base here, and Scatterbrained in a strong position, about to shut this trade down, and B's got to come up with something real quick.
He does have another planned raid. He's got 3 more of Joan's friends, Joan's champions, coming around the south side of Scatterbrained's base. Still kind of far away. We'll see if they actually commit to getting some raid damage in, and those horse archers right on the trade line, doing quite a bit of damage, shutting that trade down, picking up some kills in the process. Now we just see the power of the horse archers, you know, with that buff, that Saint's Blessing from the warrior monks. Ripping through those knights, Joan popping the heal, keeping those knights alive a little longer, but there's no more warrior monks. And Scatterbrained looks like he may have overextended a bit. We'll see. Is there a way out? B has walled off the opening, so these horse archers are stuck in the back of Joan's base at this point.
Yeah, and there's no way for him to get reinforcements either. So he's just got to try to get as much value for these as he can. Turns around, takes JD down right there, but they're running out of real estate here. They're going to be back into a corner, and B's just going to be able to kill them all. Continuing to kite back here, but yeah, now their mass is small enough where they don't one-shot a knight.
Horse archers doing a good job to pick off the knights one by one, but the rest of the mass is coming in behind this. And Scatterbrained not looking at this position right now. Those knights able to get on top of the horse archers, and that is just not good at all. A lot of horse archers going down. You know, the rest of the troops in pursuit here. Do have high armory on the way for Roos. We'll take a look right now at B's guild hall. And he is sitting on a little stockpile of 1,260 food, waiting to cash out. He'll be able to get up to Imperial himself just a little bit by cashing that in. He's also on 0 food per minute, which is a bigger problem. You do see this rushed farm transition around the TC, but B just doesn't have a current food income.
So I'm checking the traders now to see if any of them have been switched for
None of them.
Food.
I don't
None
believe
of them have.
They've actually been toggled for a secondary resource. Or a resource, I should say. They're all still on gold.
So we have Streltsy in the queue.
All right.
So Scatterbrained putting more archery ranges down. He doesn't want to make a single melee unit other than warrior monks. He wants to keep it all ranged. And Streltsy, Roos's hand cannoneer variant, very effective, very cost effective. They're cheaper than most other hand cannoneers. So like this play, but he's got to be quick because B is coming. B knows that he just wiped Scatterbrain's army. He knows that Scatterbrain just aged up, and that Scatterbrain is on 1 TC, so chances are there's not a lot at Scatterbrain's base that B has to worry about, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah, he's ready to take it to him. We'll see how long this palisade wall, the reinforced palisade wall, holds out. A lot of archers, not too many knights, so that's going to buy Scatterbrained a little bit more time, but the archer mass is huge. And they're going to do a good job dealing damage to the Streltsy and the horse archers. And it's 82 to 20 when you take a look at military count. And it's 95 to 69 on the eco side of things. Scatterbrained in a real tough position. He hits Imp, but I don't know. I don't know about this. These horse archers not able to upgrade just because there's no resources there. I do see a defensive keep in the back.
I don't think he's going to upgrade the horse archers. I think they were just left over. But yeah, he's trying to survive so he can get a mass up and actually take a fight with B. But it's 29 to 89. It's a pretty tough, dire situation. B is wheeling around.
Yeah, first
couple shots
from the
fire off. Knight goes down. B pulls back though. Scatterbrain hurrying up some rush fortifications here. You have a wooden fortress, and now you have some barracks coming down, so he's going to look to get a frontline unit. I wonder if he's going to go for men-at-arms or if he's going to go for spears. But B, with Jeanne's champions just continuing to be harassing, and somehow I missed this, but Scatterbrain dropped down to second TC in all this.
Yeah, that keep was canceled. Second TC went up. Jeanne's champions wreaking havoc on the Vills. A couple Streltsy moved over to combat that. Should hopefully drive those champions away. But they've been doing such a good job at disrupting the eco of the Rus. You can see a tower went down from those two Vills that were moved earlier, which is shutting down this farming hunting cabin.
Yeah, now B going up with the Red Palace, right on the middle sacred site, sort of right in front of Scatterbrain's base. That is a imposing landmark there that you never want to have to fight through, but B's positioning on this, critical. It's on an 8,000k gold vein, and if you kind of look around the map, B owns most of it. Scatterbrain, this is his last gold vein, and he's got 2,000 left. After this, well, he could go to the one on the west, but it's kind of walled in, and I don't even know if Scatterbrain scouted that. He did. He knows it's there.
Well, here's the engagement. The Streltsy are out. They're trying to focus down Jeanne. Jeanne popping the healing. Red Palace is going to finish. Scatterbrained on the retreat. B just has way more units in this fight right now. Streltsy doing what they can to thin out the knight numbers, but there are just so many archers behind this. Jeanne still lives.
Yeah, Streltsy just it's not large enough mass to really contend with this archer ball from B right here. We do have elite upgrades coming in. We have, looks like Gambesons coming in as well for B. So pretty soon, B's Arbaletier are going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with these Streltsy and trade very efficiently with them.
Absolutely. A couple of forward siege workshops as well. The stone walls just going to funnel anything Scatterbrained makes past the Red Palace. Jeanne's champions still in the back of Scatterbrain's base. Still, you know, causing disruption for the villagers.
Yeah, and look at this. B is just quietly owning 70% of the map at this point in time.
Yep.
And
stonewalling it all.
Backed into a corner. Backed into a corner. He's got a little under 3,000 gold left on the west gold vein, but he's got to go fight for that because there is a fully upgraded tower there with the Springald upgrade. And we have a cannon coming out from JD, so pretty soon we're just gonna start this slow cannon crawl forward. And I'm not sure what Scatterbrained can really do to stop it at this point. He put down a market, maybe gonna try to trade into more resources that he's gonna need. But he's out of gold.
Out of gold, and the rest of the map is stonewalled off. Going to lose that market very soon. Spend a bunch of gold getting those men-at-arms to elite tier, but the push is in. Archers and Arbs, the Cannon and Joan moving into the production of Scatterbrained. Looking to deal damage to the units that pop out of there. Those men-at-arms are not going to survive unless they can get pulled back, and pulled back fast. Cannon continuing to shoot down the defenses here.
Siege Workshop coming through, so the first upgrade is gonna be a cannon. I wonder if he's gonna get fine-tuned guns shortly after, because his main problem is this blob of archers. Scatterbrained's gonna move in, try to push B back. B's just gonna retreat into the Red Palace. 2 more cannons coming up, and they're just gonna lay into the Streltsy as they move forward. And I'm pretty sure Scatterbrained's front line is not going to last long here, and Streltsy not large enough in mass to really deal with this. Again, just can't get the ball big enough. A lot of those Streltsy just going down from the archers and crossbows, and cannons continue to pick away at them, and just not enough.
Yep, not enough mass at all. Scatterbrained's units get completely wiped out. There goes the military. GG. I liked what Scatterbrained was doing mid-game. Liked that big horse archer mass. Went too far, though. Got them walled in, got them trapped in the base. B was able to clear that out. Scatterbrained went Imperial, didn't have the resources to do much with Imperial once he hit that, and B was just in a good spot at that point to walk right down the map to Scatterbrained's base, apply the pressure, build up his techs, his units, and close out the game.
Yeah, it felt like Scatterbrained was in control for a large portion of that game right there, but it sort of like flipped when B trapped all those horse archers in the back of his base, took them out, and then Scatterbrained went up to Imp. B just seized upon that opportunity, as I would expect from a top level player, and just absolutely took control at that point, got the map control, put his Red Palace down, and just had control over all the gold. So Scatterbrained was left with what he can generate from relics.
Yeah. Also to be noted, B doing a good job just keeping up the raids in the mid game. You know, while Scatterbrained's army was in B's base, B had some knights, some Jones champions down in Scatterbrained's base, really causing a lot of destruction to those farms under the TC, keeping Scatterbrained, you know, keeping him away from any sort of comfortable position with his own economy. Very well played. Game 1 going to B. We should have a second game very soon.
This could be a good one for Scatterbrained to tie the series up.
For sure. Yeah, we did see Scatterbrained play the Mongols on a hybrid map earlier on Boulder Bay. Now we're on to Canal. Different setup, but he stayed confident, was able to eventually take water underneath Japanese pressure. We'll see what his thoughts are with his openings up against the Delhi. Do see docks coming down in the center for both players.
Okay. Scatterbrained just going with the dock play, doesn't want to really contest early on. Boar being annoying there. Scatterbrained attempt to maybe Boar pull help him out killing 3DB's scout. But look at this. B's bringing his villager over. he just wants to kill Scatterbrain's villager before this dock goes up. Not sure the villager is going to go down, though.
Almost. Good attempt. I was feeling like that was pretty close. That boar is still chasing the Khan around. Khan can't quite shake the boar. But that villager is going to go down by the scout.
Yeah, so just great play from B right there. Even though the scout does 1 damage, villagers, you know, on 2 HP, 1 HP right now, and this last hit's going to do that villager in. And you know what? B's dock's a little bit late as a result, but he got a villager kill. Khan looking to return the favor, though, and the Khan is no slouch. He does 2 damage a hit, so he can definitely take down a villager a little bit faster. B scout is kind of not in a great position to defend, but dock goes up, Galler comes out, healing of the villager, Khan needs to move on. So, just great game knowledge from B right there.
For sure, yeah. Keeping that Villa alive, and my goodness, look at this wall.
Look at V. And, you know, I want to point out, he is deleting a fish here, but the spirit of what B is doing is to make sure that Scatterbrained doesn't have access, or his dock doesn't have access to all the fish. So he'll have this 1 shoreline fish that he'll probably be able to get over to, but he's trying to deny the rest of it. And that's a trick in the tool bag that Mongols does not have. They can't wall up like this, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? Even if you gave me 2,000 games to play, I don't think I would have come up with walling in the opponent's dock as what I would do.
I've seen my share of Canal games. I have never seen this. This is fantastic. That dock cannot access any of the fishing to the back. Yeah, like you were saying, just that 1 shoreline fishing node to the front. Super frustrating. Also, taking a look, Scatterbrained hasn't been able to produce a fishing ship. He's going up to feudal now. He's forgoing, looking to get some sort of Dark Age fishing economy. B is adding his own fishing ships. He's going to delay his feudal a little bit, but he's going to have that stronger economy into feudal. Do have the silver tree, so we will expect to see some traders go into those corner markets upon completion.
Yeah, and Mongols can absolutely trade on this map. Just to answer a chat question, so if the wall was to go down where that shoreline fish was, the shoreline fish would reappear. But Scatterbrained has to burn it down. B right now owns the canal. He's got full access to the fishing, so Scatterbrained is going to look to kind of counteract that with Silvertree and try to sort of trade boom. Not entirely confident that that's going to be the best thing to do here, because Delhi with all this food resource can be pretty scary, to be honest with you, right? Delhi feels like they can just mass this giant military and feudal, and really the only thing holding them back oftentimes is food. But B right now has a ton of food available to him. Dome of the Faith is his preferred landmark in this case. I like it. You know, go capture some sacred sites, get some techs in early, and sort of win that tech battle. Now B putting a dock on Scatterbrain's side. I wonder if this is for the food, or if this is to like get galleys and ships in here and be annoying, right? You can probably get a galley up and deny this gold from Scatterbrained if you wanted to.
You absolutely could. Yeah. That is, I love this dock location so much. You have just basically disabled Scatterbrained's dock, or at least for his own fishing. Able to get a sprinkled ship out at a great time to catch a scholar as it tries to cross the map. My goodness, that sprinkled ship coming out at just the right moment to pick off a scholar. That's a good win in Scatterbrained's favor. Now we do have the sprinkled ship focusing down those fishing ships for the Delhi, but B is not far away from feudal. Doing a good job pulling that fishing ship into safety once it got down to low HP. See the Mongols trying for another dock on their side of the river. Taking a look at the bases right now. So no production yet for the deli. Just hit feudal. Dropping a mosque. Looking for those scholars. And be able to take down that sprinkled ship in the middle. Do see that that naval arrow slits is in play for Scatterbrained on that forward dock. So we will force B back. Gonna keep him away from this one little fishing resource. Meanwhile, on Scatterbrain's side, we do have that dock come out for Scatterbrained. We've got the 2 docks here. See, B has made a demo ship, anticipating either a sprinkled ship or just looking to explode the dock. Khan being annoying here.
Yeah, he's hoping to catch something as it pops out, but the first thing coming out of that dock is going to be arrow slits there. So this demo ship going to have to hide between these 2 docks, otherwise arrow slits is going to take it out, and moves back to the other side, but the other dock is hitting it, though it's going to heal up, so it's not going to be able to die right there.
Healed to full, so the fishing ship's doing something else. And it cannot find a safe space.
Yeah, Scatterbrained just going with the aggressive docks, not really trying to fish here. Demo comes in, blows up on the dock, might as well. The arrow slits are just going to eventually wither it down. And now you have Scatterbrained just going for B's forward dock. He's got a war junk and a light junk out. Bagla comes out, but way too far forward. Arrow slits and the light junk are just going to slowly pick at it. B pulling his fishing ships here, probably to do a repair, and
oh my goodness,
have a demo ship coming out. Perfect timing from Scatterbrained. Goes off, gets a lot of damage right.
Yeah, that was an insane demo.
Saved. He was able to
survives.
save a lot of it, but yeah, just great. Great play from Scatterbrained. We do have a couple traders starting to trade here, so not looking to take the fight on land just yet, Scatterbrained. He wants to keep it here on the water.
Yeah, be able to get out a demo of his own. Take out the war junk. So the fishing ships for B survive. He seems like he's in a pretty good spot now. Now able to take out the archer ship. We do have a Ghazi Raider on the map. Looking around for targets. More Ghazi Raiders going up to the north market, anticipating the trade that's coming in. Only a couple of traders right now. Yep, just 2 on the map. And Ghazi Raider is going to scout out one of them.
Yeah, Scatterbrain's going to have to start investing in some land-based defenses here, and he's got double production Keshiks coming out. Gonna have to repair Zuvu, though. B was just burning it with the scout this entire time. So, annoying little things that he has to deal with. One Ghazi is going to find the 2 Keshiks, but that is not a fair fight. 2 Keshiks are absolutely going to destroy a Ghazi Raider, so he's got to run away. Second Ghazi coming in, not sure what he's going to do, but you know what? B's just trying to get damage in. He's pulling these Ghazi Raiders back to heal. He's just going to heal them up. Meanwhile, B continues his push in the middle here. Now got his fishing boats joining the fight, shooting their little arrows that do 6 damage, and looks like B is going to eventually be able to take control of this aspect of the water here. Yep. Ghazi Raiders coming down to help B out, burn this war junk. Once they're done with this war junk, they're probably going to start burning the dock.
And not enough
light
Ghazis.
Junk followed by a demo ship in queue. But look at this. B's just doing a magnificent job of just healing up his Bagla, either by his dock or by his fishing boats. In come 2 explosive ships. They're going to not... There's nothing here that can take them out. One of them is just going to get home.
Double destruction on the dock. Meanwhile, we saw some Keshiks come into B's base. Looks like they got one of the Vil's scholars coming over to just heal up everything at B's base that took damage from the Keshiks. Ghazi Raiders now with the torches out, looking to finally torch that dock down. So we saw it earlier for just a second, but that Uvu was technically on fire, and it's finally burnt down. So Scatterbrained, unless he's moved it to another location, which I don't see. Okay, he's moved it forward now, but that previous Uvu was eventually burnt down due to the lingering fire damage.
Yeah, there's only 360 stone left there, so he's just going to move it to the forward one. B deletes his wall, though. He's ready to kind of push up this canal a little bit and take down this last dock of Scatterbrained. Scatterbrained moved into some fishing here. Has his Keshiks to defend, though. So as the Ghazis come in, they can't take that fight. So they'll back off.
We got a massive explosion on that massive fishing ships. Able to take out one, really injured the other ones. Bagla was pursuing for a little bit, gonna turn around and go home. Those arrow slits, so annoying. We do see another demo ship out for B.
So one thing I would love to see if Scatterbrained is going to continue this water battle with B is piracy. Piracy is not in yet, and it's a unique tech to the Mongols that is just so insanely powerful if you're going to play these water battles. But it doesn't have that just yet.
We noticed it before on the previous water map that Scatterbrained played. He also didn't pick up piracy during that. Another demo ship going to connect with the dock. The dock is finally on fire.
Yeah, and I think this is just B is going to take command of this canal right here. When you have Scatterbrained's last dock coming down, he now owns the canal. He owns all the food. He's going to wall up these neutrals here just to make sure Scatterbrained can't trade. And this map is getting smaller and smaller for Scatterbrained. He's got to make a play before B slowly overwhelms him. And B's not too far from Castle himself. And once B gets to Castle, he can go into Lancers, he can go into Men-at-Arms, and these Keshiks in Feudal Age will quite quickly get outperformed.
Yeah, and right as you say that, we do see a House of Learning coming out for B. So there's the play for Castle. Sacred Sites now being captured. See those Ghazi Raiders just dancing around the Keshik, not looking to engage, and Scatterbrained calls it. Doesn't see a way for himself to get back in the game. Lost water, not looking good on land. Game 2 is going to be.
Yeah, and you know what? B just played very methodical there, just slowly but surely working his way up the canal. You know, the way he microed his fishing ships to not only contribute to the fight, he was using them to take down, explosive ships. He was using them to take down the junks. He was also using them to heal his own Baglas. So he didn't really have to reinvest because he wasn't losing that much because he was just repairing it. So that was just masterful by B. And, then he kind of, you played the next progression, right? All right, my opponent's trading. Let me go wall up the trades. And, it took 14 minutes to get the sacred sites, but you know what? That's the perfect time to go get them because prior to that, there are more important things that he was focusing on. And so he just methodically checking the box as he moved throughout the progressions of this game.
B is at match point, looking to close it out on a victory here. Going to Hillendale, loading the game up right now. We are in there. Let's switch the screen over. We'll start the focus now. Taking a look at B in the orange as the English on top of the English hill. And we got Scatterbrained as the French. And we've got a mass of villagers crossing that map.
B doing B things. The only thing that I'm a little concerned about is I think B is going to go for the gold. He obviously doesn't know where the gold is, but it is a back gold spawn, so it's not the easiest to do this with. That scout is going to come into vision. sees the TC, starts taking a little bit of a fire from it. So B moving the villagers around the other side. Scout splitting with the scout so he can kind of cover more ground and find that gold. But yeah, that's 100% what B is doing here.
Yep, gold in the back, deer in the back. We'll see where B decides to put his tower. We've seen a lot of English play today, but we have not seen a tower rush.
And Scatterbrained so far has not scouted this just yet. So definitely might be a little surprised when those villagers eventually come into view, and now they're just coming into sight. And you can see that villager's just like, nope, I want nothing to do with this. I'm going back. And wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the disrespect. Oh man. Not even a tower. Not even like, because you drop the tower, then you build a gold mine, take the gold. It's like, no, I'm gonna take your food. Actually, these deer look delicious. Thanks for killing them for me. I will help myself.
Yeah, and this absolutely, the higher gather rate on the deer kind of helps make up for the fact that he moved those villagers all the way across the map. B now out scouting. But Scatterbrained moving to a forward gold, and not a lot that B can really do to deny that. But just stealing French's deer, that's huge in this situation, right? French is a very food-hungry civ, and you get that starting deer pack to kind of start on, so it's like, all right, let's just jump straight to the deer and get that higher gather rate. But B basically just said, no, not today. You're gonna be out on the map a little bit to get the resources you need.
Yep. I like playing Hillendale. I like taking the deer when available just because they do spawn so close to your town center that they're very easy to pick up. Yeah. Crazy. B going for that deer. There's the outpost, denying both of these resources. Taking a look right now, what does Scatterbrained have for sheep? He's got 4 sheep carcasses under the TC. Luckily for him, his scout is bringing 14 more home, so it's not going to be a total wipe there.
Gonna pick up a 15th on his way in, and B is just going for a barracks too here in Dark Age. B isn't quite close to
the proxy barracks in
up.
the base on the hill.
He has to do something, right? Because Scatterbrained is going to get to feudal age before him. He's just got the resources now, so you're going to see a landmark coming down very soon. I originally was like, oh, maybe Scatterbrained can go Chamber of Commerce. That would be cool on this map. But B seemed to sort of force his hand, so we're getting a School of Cavalry. Here's the thing about the English. English don't have Dark Age Spearmen. They actually have Vanguard or Dark Age Men-at-Arms. Those knights are going to feast. Absolutely feast on those men-at-arms, but B doesn't have any other choice if he wants to defend this. And you know what? That first men-at-arms is kind of moving out a little bit.
Yeah, he's on the map now. It looks like he's going to hide behind the wood line, maybe try to mass up and make a play once he's able to hit feudal. And Council Hall, Proxy Council.
Alright, here's the thing. You have knights coming real soon, so you've got to... This timing is going to be really tight. I think...
It is going to be tight.
Scatterbrained might be able to get... He might be able to get a knight there. And that might be... Well, they can garrison in the tower, so I guess they'll be perfectly fine here, but... Oh, man. And once these...
I'm losing my mind!
Once these longbows, like... hit the field, right? They'll be able to just sit outside this TC range and just start picking at villagers little by little here. This is like a 50,000 IQ play from B, which who are we surprised? You regularly see that from him anyway, but
yeah,
boy.
This is wild. I mean, there's still 20 seconds on that first night coming out. Council Hall is likely gonna be able to go up. You did see Men-at-Arms split off, find the other gold, push those villagers away. Scatterbrained still has enough gold in the bank for 2 more knights.
Oh.
And the first one about to pop out now.
So this is what B did. B used, and he's sacrificing this Vanguard Man-at-Arms. So the first knight goes to defend the gold, and not to stop the age up.
Oh, boy.
Look at that.
Yeah, no, take a look at the vision of Scatterbrained. That council hall is 1 tile out of vision.
Yeah. I gotta say, that was just genius from B. So now we have the first longbowman hitting the field. That tower there, I think it gives it line of sight of the wood line. They might slowly be able to pick. Alright, so we have the knights coming in. We have 1 spear in the mass, and Scatterbrained quickly just targets it down. And little by little, these knights are just going to win this fight here, because Vanguard Men-at-Arms versus knights are never good. I think Scatterbrained, if he pulls all his villagers to burn down this tower, he might be okay.
And
Which,
just as you said,
exactly what he's doing.
Here come the Vills, but a knight was distracted by one of B's villagers, letting that spearman take out a knight. It's going to take out another knight. These villagers are in trouble.
Oh no, they're just jumping out to repair. Look at that. At the last possible second.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah, the rate of repair is much greater than the torch damage from the Vills. Couple of longbows to pick off the villagers. You see the injured spear jumping into the tower, jumping out so that there's 2 together to take down the knight, and B with the proxy council hall. Taking game 3 on Hill and Dale. What a game to go out on.
That was something else, and like, the little details, right? I was like, what is that Vanguard Man-at-Arms doing? What is B's plan with it, right? You know knights are coming. His entire plan with that first Vanguard Man-at-Arms, and why he was hiding behind the woods, was he knows when that first knight is going to hit based upon when the age up is. He sent the knight to the gold so the knight didn't go back to where he was building the age up. Because, like, naturally, your first knight is going to go towards the age up building. But because he was harassing the gold, Scatterbrained changed where the first knight was going, sent it to defend his gold, and that one little detail there that B was on top of, massive in this game, which is only 8 minutes.
Yeah, that was a huge part. There was another part where, for just a second, just a couple of seconds, Scatterbrained with his 2 remaining knights moved over and targeted one of B's villagers, which let B's spearmen have just enough time to pick off one of the knights. And then Scatterbrained just didn't have the units to stop anything at that point.